Hi viewers, I am Dr. Jetling Eldosa, running a YouTube channel called Law Speeches, and I request all the watchers of my videos to subscribe to my channel. If you feel that my lectures are good, please like it and share to your friends. So today we are discussing the another important topic in the international law under the international transactions, that is the International Court of Justice or the World Court. As you know that there are 6 principal organs are there in the United Nations organization, in which the International Court of Justice is also one of the principal organ. So under Article 92 of the UN Charter provides that there should be a International Court of Justice, and the court should interpret the laws, specifically international laws. And Article 93 also says that the International Court of Justice has its own statute. So as per that, it has framed its own statute that we will discuss later on. And we have to remember that all the members of the United Nations organization are state parties, all are ipso facto, they are the members of the International Court of Justice. And in addition to that, any non-member can also seek the opinion or refer the dispute to the International Court of Justice on the recommendations of the Security Council and General Assembly. Only thing is that it has to imply or has to obey the judgment. That is only the condition which is there under the International Court of Justice. So the composition of the International Court of Justice is concerned, it has 15 judges, and they are elected for a term of the 9 years. The election will be conducted by the General Assembly and the Security Council separately, and the matter will be placed before the principal organ of the United Nations organization. Then it is to be declared as they have been elected. So, as you know that it is a highest body in the world, judicial organ. To become the member in the International Court of Justice, a judge in it, the person should occupy a highest judicial position in that respective country. In addition to that, a law professor having the expertise knowledge in the international law can also be appointed to the judge of the International Court of Justice. Then, what is the law the ICJ will follow? We have to know. The International Court of Justice, while deciding the cases, it will follow its own statute that is there under Article 38, clause number 1 of the ICJ statute, where a disputes have to be resolved by the applying this following principles. Number 1 is international conventions, the sources of law. If you go to it, international conventions. While applying or deciding a dispute, First, the International Court of Justice will say whether any conventions are there. If the convention is there, it will give the first preference to the convention. Then the second source is international customs. So as you know that custom is nothing but it is a long usage is called as a custom. So it is also a source of international law, and the International Court of Justice will apply this international custom while deciding the disputes in between the states. Then third is the general principles practiced by civilized states. So the word civilized has been not much importance now. Earlier it was there, but general principles practiced by states. So what are those? The principle of res judicata, res sub judice. So these are the general principles. Wherever you go, whether you go to Australia, whether you go to Canada, if you go to South Africa, if you go to Nigeria, if you go to European countries, all the res judicata is the same. Then the res sub judice means also the same. So these are the general principles which have been throughout of the world is accepted principles. And while deciding the disputes, the ICJ also gives a preference to general principles of law. The next is judicial decisions are works of the jurists. So as you know that it is a judicial decisions have been considered as a precedent. So while deciding the matter, the court will see whether any kind of precedents are there back or not, then it will decide the matter. And opinions of the jurist. There is another important aspect because the jurists, academicians, they work hard and they lay down certain principles, and the ICJ will look after those principles and will decide the matters. Now we discuss what is the binding force of the decisions of the International Court of Justice. As the binding force is concerned, so whatever judgments rendered by the International Court of Justice, it would have effect upon the parties of that dispute. It would not have any effect upon the non-disputant parties. So recently, India filed a case against Pakistan regarding the Kulbhushan Jadhav case, and that matter pertains to India and Pakistan. The decision of that matter only have the effect upon the India and Pakistan, not upon any other states. Then, if you see the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice is concerned, first we have to remember that only state parties are allowed to file the cases in the International Court of Justice. The individuals of the state parties are debarred to file any case in the International Court of Justice. If any international association is there, organization is there, it can also allow to file, but it can seek the advisory things from the International Court of Justice. So basically, the International Court of Justice has two kinds of jurisdiction. Number one is continuous jurisdiction. Number 2 is advisory jurisdiction. Again, the first one, the continuous jurisdiction, is divided into two kinds. One is the voluntary jurisdiction, the other is the optional jurisdiction. So first we discuss the what is meant by voluntary jurisdiction. So name itself is indicating it is a voluntary. The parties to the United Nations Charter have to become to refer the disputes under Article 36, clause number 1 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice. By the states. That is the reason it is called a voluntary jurisdiction. The second one is the optional jurisdiction. For that, we have the Article 36, the clause number 2 of the Statute of International Court of Justice. As name itself indicating, it is optional. The option depends upon the state parties to refer the dispute or not. What are those matters? The matters are, one is interpretation of the treaties. Number 2, any question of international law. Number 3, the existence of any fact which, if established, would constitute a breach of international obligations. And the fourth one is the nature and the extent of the reparation to the made for the breach of international obligations. If these four matters are there, then it will come under the optional jurisdiction. Then the many famous jurists like Professor Kelsen, Professor Oppenheim, and Jessup, Skinsberger, so they have stated it should be there. The consent should be there because they have giving the sovereign power. They have coming out from the sovereign power and they are referring the matter to the ICJ. That is the reason this obligatory jurisdiction is provided. Then the second sort of jurisdiction, that is the advisory jurisdiction. So advisory jurisdiction, as name itself is indicating, it is advisory in nature. It can give advices if there is a legal problems are there, legal issues are there to the United Nations organization, or it's any of the organs. Then that legal problem should be resolved because of the advice, upon the advice by the International Court of Justice. For that we have the Article 65 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice provides that kind of rendering of the advisory jurisdiction upon the court. By availing this, it has given a lot of important landmark advices to the number of organizations, including to the International Organization. Then we have to discuss the interim measures or reliefs. Because a dispute is referred to the ICJ, it may take time for final settlements. Till then, any interim measure can be adopted or can be prescribed by the ICJ. For that also, the statute of International Court of Justice clearly providing it under Article 41 of the statute. So that is the reason. Just I told you also that in Kulbhushan Jadhav case, the Pakistani government wanted to hang him because he was awarded of a death punishment by the military courts, a tribunal in Pakistan. Then India has moved to the ICJ. And where an account of it, the hanging was stopped because it has given, International Court of Justice has given the interim relief of not to hang that Jadhav. And so, international law, International Court of Justice is playing a very, very significant role in development of international law since its inception, and it has given very, very landmark judgments from time to time, and which have to be remembered forever, like the Anglo-Norwegian fisheries case, Corfu Channel case, then the US versus the Iran, the diplomatic immunities case, then case concerning the United States, the case concerning the continental shelf, Tunisia versus Libya case, and conditions of admission of the state into international organization. So like that, US, Nicaragua versus US case, also very landmine case, planting of landmines in Nicaragua by the United States of America. The matter was referred by the Nicaragua to the United States in the ICJ. Then ICJ has clearly found fault with the United States government. It has no authority to plant landmines in territory of Nicaragua, adjacent to the Nicaraguan territories in the sea coast. So from time to time, because of it, the international law has been being widened. So International Court of Justice is playing very, very important role in the widening of the international law. So maybe some shortcomings are there. The shortcoming, mainly we can say that it is the statute is providing the obligatory jurisdiction, optional jurisdiction. Either state party consent, then only the matter will be referred. So that is a minor. But if we see the plus points of the ICJ, it has doing a human service for the development of the international law since its inception. So, still it has relevancy of ICJ is more. Day by day, it has been increasing a lot. That we have to remember. So, ICJ discharging very remarkable function of justice delivery system to the states. Thank you.